Hi all, so welcome to this channel, and in this video I'll discuss AS4 interview questions and answers. So this is part 23 video. So let's start with the questions one by one. So first question is, what is data area and why it is used? So data area is an storage which is a permanent storage in IBM. Uh, when we create a data area object gets star data array type object gets created, and we can store a limited set of data in the data area. The max length is 9999. So it is basically and why it is used. Let me share one example with you that where it is used. Um, let's say uh, let's say we want to generate a unique number or and unique number, and we want what we'll do, we'll save the last generated unique number in that data area, and every time we're going to create generate a new number, we'll add one to that, or we'll add accordingly what we want to add to generate a new number. And so this is one example. Another example is something, let's say we want to perform the multi-threading in our IBM I. We want to do make something as a multi-threaded. It operates in a multi-threaded and way. So let's say I have a job which is running for a long time, and no, I thought of breaking that into several other jobs. I thought of breaking that into the multi-threaded. I want to run that multi-threaded. So now what I can do is I can run as many a job as I want, and it not depends upon it is not fixed that I would be running this much number of jobs or this much. It depends upon the data which we need to process. So based upon the data at the dynamic or at the runtime, process those number of or will activate those number of jobs, will fire those number of jobs to process those data. If there is no need to fire those jobs, or if a need to fire the less jobs, then the program in itself is capable of doing that. And so when we perform the multi-threading, what happens at some point, at some moment, we must know that all those jobs which are filed or which are triggered as part of doing this function or this functionality, will they get completed? So are they failed, or are they passed, or they completed? So what we can do, we can have a data area. So every job which is act started, let's say which case started, write B at some specific position. So job 1 write at the first position, job 2 write at the second position, job 3 write at third position. So let's say there are 10 jobs, they're writing on the 10th position. So all 10 positions are now filled with the B, and the other positions are blank. So if in case there would be 100 jobs activated at that time to process that data, if it there would be 100 B's, that is begin. So begin of all jobs completed. Now once every job gets completed, before completed before getting completed, it writes, or it updates, or you can say it update that B to C. So this is basically done at the runtime. So let's say there are 10 jobs and the ninth job completed first. So 9 job will going to write C at the ninth position where it has actually written that B. So this way we will be achieving that multi-threading concept using the data area thing. So this is another example. And once all the B's become C, that is completed, then it means that all the jobs are completed. Now we can further go and further another process, and another jobs can be completed. So this way we can have all this we can have data area in place. So that's the use of the data area. Now next thing is data queue and API used in the data queue. The data queue is something which is used to communicate between the different jobs or the different programs. So one program sends some data to the data queue, and another program receives some data from the data queue. So there are APIs like queue send DTAQ and queue receive DTAQ are used to send the data to the data queue or receive data some data from the data queue. That's the concept of the data queue. Next thing is difference between U rate and system rate. So there is an important difference between these two dates. That is the year in these two things. In the system date is 4 length, and in due date it's of 2 length. That is y. So this is the main important difference between these two. That is due date and system date. Next thing is difference between do while and do until loop. So in do while loop, um, uh, the loop executed only when the condition gets true, and do until loop it executes at least when even if the condition gets true. So the condition is checked at the last in do until. So that's why this at least runs one. Now the next thing is what is the purpose of this line, that is C slash copy QRPGLSR CSRC1. So what we are doing here is we are basically we are using the concept of copybook. So we are including this copybook source one, which is present in the source file QRPGLSRC in the same library in which the program is, because we didn't mention the library name. So we are including that source which is present in source 1, that is lines of code in source 1. We are including that in our program by using c slash copy. So c slash copy, so slash copy is the compiler directive which we have used to copy the source member into our program. Next question is how we can check record existence in file without using IO operation. So IO operation is like chain or read, so we are not gonna performing chain, read or settle. So how we gonna check if a record exists in that file or not? So we have a file information data structure, and using that we can check whether a record exists or not. So we don't, for that purpose we don't need to do any IO operation. Next question is the qualified name for an object obj1 present in library 1 would be lib1 slash obj1. So this is the qualified name for that object. Next question is what we call to the printed output in out queue. So in out queue we have the printed output which is called as spool files. So spool files are the printed outputs which are present in out queue. When a spool file is created, where it is placed. So yes, I think I already answered this question in this 8th question. That is a spool file is created, and where it is placed in output queue. Which command is used to display the list of spool files? So if you want to display all the spool files which we have generated by running the several processes, so we can use work splf command, which basically lists out all the spool files which we have generated. User ID. Do we need to recompile program after changing the file used in the program? So yes, of course. If file gets changed in a program and the level identifier is set to yes, then that file level identifier level check is set to yes, then level check parameter is set to yes, then file level identifier of the record format gets checked when the program is active at the runtime while opening that file. So that's why we need to recompile, because once we change the file the level identifier gets changed, and whatever the earlier level identifier which is associated with the file is now changed in the file, but that's not reflected in the program in which that file is declared. So we need to recompile that file, and we must recompile this we need to recompile that program, so we must recompile the programs in case if any of the file gets changed. And yeah, of course we need to first check whether the record format, uh, the level and file gets changed or not. If in case it is not changing, then we don't need to recompile. Next question is difference between skip b1 skip space b1. So we can have skip b1. It means we are skipping the one page, and then on the second page, that is on the next page, we are skipping one line, and then we are going to write something on the report. Space b1 is something where we only skipping one line, and then after that line we are going to write something on the report. And if I use skip b2, which means I'm skipping only one page, I'm skipping that page, and on the next page I'm skipping two lines and then going to write that. So it doesn't mean that I'm going to skip two pages. I'm going to skip only one page, and on the next page I'm going to skip two lines, which basically skip b2 means. And space b2, as I said, it would be skipping only one line if it's space b1, or if it's space b2 it would be skipping two lines on the same page. Different file types in RPG. So they are basically when we find a file in the FSX in RPG program, we use different file types like input, that is I, output, that is O, update, that is U, and there is one more C, that is combined for the device files. What are the different file format types in RPG? So we have two different file formats in RPG, that is externally described, that is E, where we are using the external file here in our program, and another one is the file fixed length file, which is defined, whose structure is defined inside the program itself. So for that we use F instead of E. Which are control break indicators? So control break indicators are from L1 till L9, L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, L6, L7, L8, L9. These are the control break indicators in RPG program. So that's all here. So thank you.